Hey everybody, welcome back to Hard for Games. I'm Tony.
I'm Richie.
Today we're taking a look at some Japan only.
Of course.
As they tend to be Japan only, so much stuff that we cover on the show. Japan only GameCube e-catalogs / demo disc. And these things are just chock full of content.
We've got screenshots from upcoming games, some playable demos on there, I think, too. I don't even know if I'm prepared for what's on that blue disc.
Oh, mercy.
Not like a development blue disc.
No.
We're a little bit below that tonight, but it's special.
Calm down. Calm down. But the blue disc does have some very exclusive Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, for the GameCube of course, content.
Oh my.
It has Chao, which if you're unfamiliar, Chao are sort of the Tamagotchi of those games. They're like these little cutesy characters that you build up and you build their stats and such. You can do little different mini games with them. But exclusive Chaos that you can import into your game that you could not get anywhere else. So we're gonna check that out, check out the previews, see what we find.
I like it.
All right, we're starting with the gold disc. First things first, that music. It's kind of reminiscent a little bit, just in terms of the mood of the Nintendo eShop on the Wii.
I mean, pretty much everything Nintendo has ever done as far as, like, menus go, has been more or less the same tune. And it sounds almost exactly like their soundtrack to Mario Paint.
Yeah.
The eShop, and various other Nintendo business items.
And we're not going to cover everything on here. We're just going to experiment a little bit and see what we find. So as you can see here, we have the option to take a look at DS content, Nintendo GameCube, Game Boy Advance, Pikmin, all sorts of content. I think that Homeland was an RPG that was only released in Japan.
You can see it's an RPG.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
There's
those noses.
Yeah. There's a little video here.
Is this like Pinocchio Quest?
I guess so.
Oh, what a cute couple. They're probably brothers.
They probably are brothers, just we just don't know. Now you can see this is like an MPEG quality movie. It basically was recorded gameplay footage and is playing back because obviously it's more grainy than it would be, you know, if you were actually playing.
All right. I'm not totally convinced that we missed out on this. I mean, it looks like a good, fun, personality-filled RPG for the young ones, but I don't...
It almost seems a little bit Earthboundy, just style.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it just kind of feels that way a little bit.
You know what would help me out a lot?
What's that?
Any knowledge of the Japanese.
yeah. This is like a Gundam type game, like a mech.
Fire. I think that actually is Gundam.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I don't. Is it Voltron?
I have no idea. I don't know my Gundam.
It does look like Gundam.
Obviously a lot of options here. This is the Minish Cap.
Minish Cap was badass, by the way.
It was a great game. I really did enjoy playing it.
I feel like that's kind of the forgotten Zelda game.
It is.
Other than Spirit Tracks, which is forgotten for reasons.
Yeah, it's forgotten for much better reasons.
I guess it's probably just because people don't really think of Zelda as a handheld game, maybe?
You know, handheld Zelda games do have a large following. I mean, think about like,
I mean, Four Swords,
Link's Awakening. Four Swords has a cult following.
Link's Awakening has more of a definitely cult following, though.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, that was like the actual Game Boy.
Yeah.
Where you had to play your games in monochromatic green and black.
Yeah. It is cool though because you get to see more than just gameplay footage. You get to see how Nintendo presented it. And there's a little bit of a sort of a cult following for restorations for the original promotional materials. I mean, even we have done, you know, different restorations of various Nintendo VHS promos, right? And a lot of times you see something like this on YouTube, but it's like uploaded at 240p and it just looks nasty and You know, it's just really cool to be able to see these in decent quality. Not great, but decent. And this is recorded HDMI out, so it's going to be the best you can get from a GameCube anyways.
And this is bringing me back to an age when Nintendo was finally deciding that America was worthy of Fire Emblem games.
育成次第では強力な戦力となる。従来のキャンペーン型のシナリオマップ。
So this is just pubbing the DS itself, the actual system.
The features, right? They're talking about the wireless connectivity, or I don't know if it was an infrared system or whatever. I can't recall. Press that again.
Because it was probably still new to everybody.
Yep, this is talking about the dual screens.
When was the original release of the DS?
I mean, this was 2003, so I think it was probably around this time. Maybe 2005?
I have to think so. I can barely even remember a world with no DS.
I know. Yeah, so this is talking about how you could, play your Game Boy Advance titles, or you could play your Nintendo DS titles. So here we go, talking about some of the games that are coming out for the upcoming Nintendo DS.
Remember Nintendogs?
Nintendogs!
Fucking WarioWare.
Oh, yeah, man. Alright, so this is some more games right here. Tons of stuff. I don't remember ever getting this particular title. This is a Mystical Ninja title, but I could be wrong.
Oh my.
There's tons of content.
Too much content.
Too much content.
But at the same time, not enough.
Not enough content. I love this.
That's not even a real DS.
No. It's like a really shoddily modeled DS 3D prototype.
Touch the screen!
Yeah. And they're showing all the Nintendo DS features. I just think it's so funny. Again, there's a little bit of a cult following for these sort of old promos. I mean, you're not going to get much better quality than, getting it from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? Why didn't it say it in English?
That's barely legible. Oh man, I do want some rice cakes though.
Oh yeah.
Or rice balls.
I offered you a snack earlier. You said no. I guess my balls aren't good
Where were
enough.
the rice balls, Tony?
All right, so let's also talk about when these were released and also how you could potentially acquire them, which the information is a little bit iffy. So you may have to help us out in the comments below.
Oh boy.
/ yell at us. / tell us we shouldn't be drinking anymore. / tell us we should be drinking more. Because you guys can clearly not make up your minds. So we have a couple different ones. Now there's a pink one and a blue one. These were released in 2003. The gold one was released in 2004. Now we had Push Dustin of Source Gaming help us translate the titles of these discs, and he translated them as follows. On the gold disc, it says Club Nintendo Original eCatalog 2004, and it's no big surprise that it's Club Nintendo. There's a Club Nintendo logo on it. The blue disc says Nintendo GameCube Software eCatalog 2003, and within the GameCube image, it says 2003 Enjoy Plus version. Now, Enjoy Plus version means it was released as a part of a Japanese Enjoy Plus pack, meaning it was bundled with both the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance player in a single retail package. The pink disc says 115 titles included, Nintendo GameCube eCatalog Software Spring 2003. So at the very least, the blue disc was part of a bundle. The gold disc was likely some Club Nintendo perk, but the pink disc we are not quite so sure. Could have potentially been available at different sort of events, trade shows, or at retailers. So you could just endlessly scroll around. It would make sense for retailer purposes because I mean they'd want to showcase what was upcoming, get you hyped, get your mom's,
Get you in the store.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. Lots of different options here. We are now rocking the pink disc. Beautiful Joe. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, Tales of Symphonia, lots of different options here. Story, point, picture. This is just straight up a demo here. I've actually never played Beautiful Joe.
I never did either.
I've heard nothing but good things.
I've heard good things about it, but yeah, I've never...
You know, it would be interesting to kind of go back at a later date and touch on some of these demos and see if there's any differences between this and the final version, i.e. beta questing it, but being so unfamiliar with the game, I can't really do that right now. I would probably have to rely on the expertise of others. So if you see anything that's different or would like to help me with that, just let me know in the comments below. So here's just a software list. It's funny.
Giftpia.
Just a bunch of crap that's coming out. And screenshots and information on it and...
Pretty much all of the other elements of the disc have like tried to create some sort of menu that you could use, but this is just like a newspaper.
Pretty much.
I mean, it gets the job done, I guess, but...
Oh look, you can also press R here. And go through the different tabs, and you can choose RPG, fighting game probably.
How do you know that's not action?
Yeah, could be action, music.
Adventure maybe?
Probably racing. This might be puzzle games, yep. Sports. Huh.
Biohazard.
All Biohazard. That's odd. Story point picture. Again, just lots of promo information. Let's go ahead and take a look at the movie here.
This is another one I never played. I kind of enjoyed the music, but I never heard it was that good, so I didn't play it.
Yeah, I've heard mixed things, but I think it does have a bit of a cult following. I think one of the advantages was you could do like multiplayer via your Game Boy Advance. If I have that correct, it's been a long time.
I mean, it's not badly reviewed. It's just not.
It was kind of during that time when Square was like, okay, Sony, I'm putting my main entries on you. Nintendo,
kids!
Yeah, here's our B team, you know? So it's like, it has stuff going for it, but it's not like these epic adventures. Lots of Tales information here. People love this title.
I know they do. I mean, people love the series, period. Yeah. I think it's a fairly fun series, but I always found myself wishing for more story. But that's just because I'm the worst human being alive.
No arguments there. No, it's not very. No, it's not very nice.
I don't argue that point.
It's a software list, but it's a little bit more visual. Now this is very similar to what you're going to see in the blue disc, but it doesn't have the Chao option.
Well, then why are we wasting our time? Those were some Chao right there.
Why
can't I just download those?
I don't know.
Download.
So here we go. This is the fabled blue disc. Let's explore a little bit. We can start with Sonic.
I remember some of these titles. It's like going back in time.
Well, keep in mind that this was released the same year as the pink disc. So let's go ahead and start with some WarioWare.
Ooh.
So this straight up emulates the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat here because it's not like you're putting the adapter on the bottom of the GameCube and you're kind of emulating the Game Boy Advance that way. You're actually just loading up the Game Boy Advance game from a demo disc.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
Ooh. That was a close one.
Close call.
Ah,
Richie. Truly is the ultimate, like, frantic, like, Twitch gameplay.
It's
I like how that was just kill a Goomba.
it's more fun with friends, though.
Ooh. I really do think that of all of them, Blue Disc is probably the coolest. And partially for this reason, not just the exclusive Chao, but it's like...
actual playable demos.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could play the GameCube stuff on the other one, but...
oh, what a wiener!
It's just so funky that you could that it's emulating a different system from a demo disc. You know what I mean? Like, it's super cool. And this is just mostly just, you know, preview stuff. Nothing too crazy.
Boo!
Watch a little F-Zero movie.
This is so slow.
Check
I don't think it knows what game series it is. The fastest racing game around.
Yeah.
But F-Zero GX did have that big story mode.
It was a very fun game. I sucked at it.
Me too.
I've never been good at F-Zero, but I've always enjoyed it.
I'm not really good at any games.
To be fair, that was also going to be my next point. It was cool, like this little art piece here.
Link doesn't quite fit in though.
No, it definitely does not. But they are definitely pushing Link's involvement.
I don't blame them.
Some Ivy, some very pixelated Ivy boobage. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Sonic.
Oh, here it is.
Now we could go right to the Chao, but let's not. Let's just take a look at what else.
You're such a
has.
tease.
I know. Demo of the game here.
Nice.
Oh, well, obviously, big
Plays
cat.
big. Okay, clearly. How do I just reel the line all the way back in? Come on. Oh my god, he's sitting on the ground. Look at
I love how
big, fat ass.
big the cat's demo is.
Oh my god.
It's just like, let's make this as boring can be. Like, you know, Sonic's demo, let's have it speed, gotta go fast. Big, it's like, let's whatever.
Maybe
Let's just chill.
Maybe going fast isn't what it's all about. We could show an actual level that's not Big the Cat.
I guess we could.
There we go.
That's a Sonic right there.
I don't know what's going on.
Generally, just go forward. Let's go ahead and check out the Chao, okay? This also sort of loads up an actual game environment. So there's a couple different options.
You know you're talking about an actual game when you describe something as the game environment.
Yes. So as you can see now, we actually have found the area where you can get the exclusive Chao, one of which is not technically exclusive.
But, I mean, you would have had to have gotten Phantasy Star Online in order to unlock the Tails Chao.
Yes.
Which, I mean, that was a pretty popular game, but if you're a pure action gamer, you're probably not going to get an awful lot of value out of Phantasy Star Online, so this is a nice way to complete your collection without actually having to branch out and experience new things.
Exactly. Let's call this one semi-exclusive. And the other two, Knuckles and Amy, are exclusive Chao. So a couple things you're going to need to be able to download this. A Japanese GameCube, for one.
That's
to be able to play any of
probably
it.
the limiting step for most people out there.
You can also get an action replay. And we didn't actually complete the whole process with the action replay, but because we ended up getting a Japanese GameCube in the interim while we were working on this. But with the action replay, we were able to load the disc. We were able to transfer the Chao to the Game Boy Advance. And you will need a Game Boy Advance. Doesn't matter what region. You will need a link cable to the Game Boy Advance, but don't get a third-party one.
No Mad Catz link cables, guys.
It did not work for us. It gave us errors. So it did not recognize it on either end. You got to get an original manufacturer's link cable. That's the only thing that's going to work. At least it's the only thing that worked for us.
Right.
So basically what you can do is you transfer the Chao to your Game Boy Advance with no game in it. Just make sure it's on, make sure it's linked up. Swap out the disc, put in Sonic Adventure 1 or 2, GameCube version, obviously. Go into the Chao Garden and do a pickup. And then you'll pick up from the Game Boy. Supposedly, you can also take this Chao and bring it to your tiny Chao Garden on the Game Boy Advance. So, for example, Sonic Advance 1, 2, and Pinball Party.
Wow.
We could not get that to work.
Oh.
We tried the US version of Sonic Advance 1, and it just kind of errored on us. So maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Find out for yourselves.
Maybe we just don't have the right hardware.
Maybe we just don't have the heart to do it.
That's entirely possible.
Maybe we don't care enough about Chao.
Maybe we're not Chao worthy.
Yep. Maybe this is super niche.
Maybe. But don't tell the fans.
Don't tell the fans. So hey all, thank you again for joining us on our strange Hard for Games adventures where we look at random crap.
It just kind of reminds me of a different time, you know, because I think we take for granted what we have today with the internet.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You can download almost any demo you want. You've got screenshots everywhere. Information is cheap.
Yeah.
This was pretty cool stuff back in the day.
Oh yeah, to be able to be like, oh my god, I can like look at screenshots, I can read character bios, I can play the Game Boy Advance on my GameCube, and like, that's cool stuff.
And I mean,
that's fun.
even back in those days with like print media and things like that, you couldn't play a demo in Nintendo Power unless they printed a disc with it, which they really didn't do all that often, if at all.
No. Yeah, exactly. So definitely very neat stuff. We did want to give a couple of shout outs. Again, big thank you to Air Conditioner for letting us borrow this, and some crucial sources of information if you are interested in these topics. BitBuilt forums and Chao Island forums. Definitely check them out. Just want to toss them a little bit of love. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. If you want to support us, hit subscribe and hit that notification button. We do have a Patreon, all that good stuff. Anything you could do could help, and we'll see you guys next time. Wanted to thank you all again for watching. We have tons of additional GameCube content that I'll put up on screen if you're interested. Also wanted to give one big final thank you to Retro Taku Video Games in Madison Heights, Michigan. They let us borrow the awesome orange Japanese GameCube that you saw in this episode. So thank you very much again. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you all next time.